The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everybody. David Gross with Conde Systems, back with you to share a little bit of our wisdom for sublimation success. And today our guest speaker will be the amazing, knowledgeable, and of course entertaining Jimmy Lamb. How are you, Jimmy?
I'm doing great, David. Thanks for the amazing part. I'm not so sure, but I'm just glad to be here. That's the main thing.
And we also have on the line our Conde Director of Marketing, Meredith Teflinsky. I think I said your last name correctly. How are you, Meredith?
I am well, David. You nailed it. Just
Okay.
rolls off the tongue.
Thank you. And everybody, we're in listen-only mode. We will take questions, so you can send us a question. And if it's something that can be answered as soon as you send it in, great. If not, we will cover that towards the end. The questions can be somewhat unrelated to the webinar itself, just things that you really want to hear an answer from us, sort of a live answer, if you will. And then, as usual, we will record this video and post it on Conde TV for you to review it again and again. Meredith, I hope we have something for the folks that are with us today at the end. Do you have something there?
We do.
Okay,
yep,
good
I've got
deal.
a couple of things. Yep.
Okay, so we welcome everybody. Jimmy, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about Christmas in July. The one thing about Christmas and sublimation, a lot of good opportunities, but it's very important that we think about them early. You know, don't wait till December to be thinking about the Christmas season. So starting off thinking about it in July is really not too early because you have to think about your program and who you want to reach and how you're going to reach them and what products you're going to need. So there's a lot of thought process. We're going to try and help you get that kicked off here today. So I got 3 key sales angles I want to cover today. We're going to look at holiday decor. We're going to look at personalized gifts. And then we're going to look at the corporate marketplace because there's a lot of Christmas gifts that are given by the corporate world. So we don't want to forget about that. That's a big opportunity as well. So let's look at holiday decor. When we talk about the Christmas season, we tend to think about Christmas images. And, you know, there's a lot of different parts to Christmas, and different people have different ways that they approach Christmas. You know, many of them approach the traditional Christmas aspect. Other people are sort of the Santa Claus aspect. So, you know, there's a lot of different things and a lot of different angles there to always be aware of when you're putting things together. It's not just about Santa Claus. Okay, so there's plenty of people that have different ways of celebrating, and we want to make sure they're taken care of as well. But for sure, we can do all kinds of full color sublimated items like ornaments and coasters and photo panels that we turn into decorative items around the house. And there's plenty of other home decor products as well. And that's a big part, is doing things with that Christmas theme to it. And to be honest, in the world of sublimation, anything could be a Christmas decoration if you think about it. It depends on what you put on it. If you put a Christmas theme on anything, it pretty much all of a sudden becomes holiday decor. So to me, it's almost like an unlimited range of products that we can introduce into our clients. Now, I took the time, I took Creative Studio and just randomly chose some different products in Creative Studio and put some images on there. Most of the images are actually in Creative Studio. And I'm just going to show you a few of those because it shows you just how easy it is to make something in Creative Studio. And then I use the product mockup maker aspect of Creative Studio to create the images that you actually see here. So think about that. If you're a Creative Studio user, you can put together ideas, use product mockup maker to create an image file that you can give to your clients or put into a flyer or put onto a website. So a lot of different types of ornaments out there, and ornaments, you can put anything you want. I think the most popular thing to put on an ornament though is a picture of a person or a pet. Okay, because when we put people and pets on there, we raise that perceived value because there's an emotional connection. So when we talk about ornaments, we're talking about custom types of ornaments. My wife's been buying 3 ornaments a year for my 3 kids since they were born. My kids are all in their 20s. Do you know how big the tree has to be now? And she still buys them. So there's a lot of people out
Wow.
there. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there still spending money on ornaments, even when their children grow up into being adults, you know? So big part of that too is putting the year on it. When you put the year on an ornament, you got 2 things going. Number one, you're reminding yourself or whoever you gave it to of what year the ornament was created. As you can see here, we see the little girl with 2014, or I think that's 2017, excuse me. But by the same token, you also, when you date the ornament, that means they need another one next year, okay, because it becomes out of date. So it's just one of those little retail tricks. You always want your people, your customers, put the date on there, so they always need to get a new one. So anyway, here are a couple of different ornaments there. Here I have a Christmas stocking, a standard serving tray that I put, a Christmas logo on. And the top thing, you're wondering, what the heck is that rectangle? It's actually a table runner. Unfortunately, when I put my little images together, we ended up with some white lines, but if we did that properly, we wouldn't see that. But there's a table runner, and, I just made it kind of like in sections there. So a couple other items that we can do for holiday decor. Here, I took a look at some of the different flags or pennants that are out there. The one on the left is like a garden flag. The one in the middle is actually a flag you might hang inside on a wall. And the one on the right is a car flag. I mean, why not? So many times car flags are sports, but why not have seasonal? So, just some more ideas there of the kind of decor that we can create for the Christmas season. Here we got some apparel. I have a sweatshirt, and then I have the beanie over here. And never forget about the ugly sweater contests that come about during Christmas. We can certainly do some ugly sweatshirts if we wish with sublimation. But there's definitely lots of different decor products we can make for the body, as I like to say.
Yeah, scarf also.
Oh, yeah.
Great product.
Yeah, definitely the scarf, a good product.
Yeah, and even though it's a long scarf, you can do sort of a what I call step and repeat kind of design.
Yes. And you can
still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
The other neat thing is like the onesies for children, because you can have a lot of fun with children in Christmas. So we can definitely decorate those as well.
Yeah, just practically every spot, from your car. It could be a Christmas tag. It could be something there. It could be inside. Could be on your front door. Just an amazing number of places that you can display something that really gets you in the Christmas spirit. That reminds you of past Christmases. Start a legacy.
Yes. Okay.
And if you'll remember, Jimmy, we did the webinar on B&Bs, and you can go back to all of those clients and say, hey, Christmas is coming up. Let's update some of the products we've already sold you for Christmas related themes. Think how powerful that is. So if you just start thinking about maybe who you sold to in the past, and how you could return to them with a few appropriate Christmas ideas. Just they're always around us, and you can also remember. We'll get into maybe selling, but why not? As Jimmy and I have talked about, jump into the fundraising business and make sure organizations are selling for you. These Christmas ornaments. Make one side for the organization, the other side would be your personal photo.
That is a fantastic idea. so many things. I really liked what you, well, I liked everything you said, but I really liked what you said about the bed and breakfast, about going back and creating seasonal decor for them to have within, their operation there. I mean, you could apply that to if you did signage for a restaurant, maybe some of the table toppers and things like that, where you can go and recreate, like that wonderful curved glass you guys did down there in when I had dinner down there with you, and you took the curved glass for the menu of that restaurant, and that was a really cool menu. Anyway,
Yeah, that's just beautiful. You're
that was
right.
absolutely beautiful. So holiday decor would be themed, okay? But we don't always have to have a theme on our Christmas gifts. So personalized gifts make great gifts for the Christmas season. But when you personalize a gift for someone to give them, it doesn't always have to be themed. And that's one of the things that people sometimes forget. If you just start looking, for example, at the different types of gifts we give people, Christmas becomes a special time of giving. And this is a phrase I coined a long time ago. Make it more than a gift, make it a memory. And the best way to make it a memory is to give someone a very nice personalized gift, many times with a photograph on there for part of that memory. So this season here is a great time to do it. But if you look at this young lady here, she's in a room full of personalized products, any of which could probably have been a gift. Most of the products are themed to her pet there. That dog, his name is Kiwi. And if you look on the wall, you see there's a picture of Kiwi. There's signage with Kiwi. She's holding a tablet with a picture of Kiwi on it. Kiwi is wearing a bandana that's been sublimated, lying on his own personal pillow that's been sublimated. So the reality is everything you see in this picture could be a wonderful Christmas gift, but yet it doesn't have to have the theme. Now, by all means, a lot of times we do create themed things for our pets. For example, you could take a bandana for the pet and then turn it into having a Christmas theme so it becomes their holiday bandana. But when it comes to just true gifts, many times we're doing nice gifts, but they're not themed. Okay, just keep that part in mind. Again, if we're looking at just pure gifts, because if a themed item is only on display during that season. But a lot of times if you want to give someone a nice personalized gift, it could be home decor, but not Christmas decor. And a lot of our home decor products, we're just simply putting photographs on there of great moments, that we want to keep, or we're putting someone's name on there or something to give them a nice personalized gift. And you really need to have a good selection of these items so that if you're working with clientele that are looking to do personalized gifts for the holidays to give to others, that you can promptly show them things and put ideas into their mind, like special moments. Okay. I mean, a wonderful gift for any parent or grandparent is the young child who maybe, won a competition, or maybe you just made that up for them, or the newborn that's come and joined the family, all those things. Parents and family members love to receive these types of gifts that have been personalized with pictures of other family members. So we can capture these special moments easily with sublimation. Hobbies and leisure. We just have tons of products, and really, I tell people, learn the substrates. Where do you learn substrates? You go to the Conde website and you spend a little time every day digging through, because you have so many of them, digging through so that you can get ideas of what the wide range of substrates are, so that you can kind of start putting them in your mind of creating gift items that make use of those. The pets is such a huge marketplace. And at Christmas it's funny because pets will get wrapped gifts, but they don't know what to do with them. They're just going to eat the paper. But that's just how we feel. The pet's a member of the family, so we treat them like a member of the family. And we have lots of gifts that are given for pets at the Christmas season. So you definitely want to think about that. You should have a whole line of gifts for pets that you can share with your clients for the holiday season. I would actually have two lines that have themed items that have that Christmas look, and then I would have other gifts that you can give your pet, for year-round use. So those are just some different ideas there with the personalized gifts that we could do. How are we going to get that in front of people? How do we sell to people? And this was David was already starting to mention a little bit about sales and marketing. And David already gave you a couple of really good ideas of getting out there. The key is we got to get out in front of people and get our message in front of people. And I know a lot of you work from home, so people don't really see what you do, but you have to be creative in getting your ideas in front of people. And so we're going to take a few minutes and talk about some of those. I'm going to share a couple with you, and then I'm sure David and Meredith probably have a lot of things to add in as well. One of the things I've seen some people do is they've gone and made flyers with, say, the Christmas ornaments and the gift ideas, and they've gone and put them into places where people have to wait. Okay, think about that. Where do people have to wait? The doctor's office, okay, maybe going to get the hair done, the salons, anywhere where there's a waiting room. If you have the ability to put flyers there by working, of course, with the proprietor, that means that someone's going to probably pick it up and look at it. And then even better, if you have a link to a website where you have more information where they can go home and then order, that becomes even better. So the key is talking to business owners that might be open to you placing, some flyers that you can create quite easily. Flyers are not hard to create, to put there to kind of stimulate people and get some ideas. That's one way to get it out there. And to me, that's a really unique way, because when people wait, they have to read. Having samples is key, but sometimes you can't just put the samples in front of people. You got to find ways to get in front of people so that they can see your samples. So you do want to think about having a complete set of samples to show, and then think about how you can get in front of groups to actually show that. So some additional ways to do that are like holiday gift shows and craft shows. I've done a lot of mobile work.
Break in just
go ahead, David. Go ahead.
So you're so good at what you do. I gotta.
No, you got to jump in there. I never shut up unless you do.
So one of my favorite stories is about Jesse James. Have I ever shared that with you?
Yeah, I've never heard this story.
So one time a reporter asked Jesse James, why in the world did he rob banks? She just didn't comprehend why he would rob banks. And so Jesse James looked at the reporter as if the reporter had lost their mind, and simply answered, because that's where the money's at. And here's the point for us, is we need to do the same thing in selling our products, is follow the money.
Yes.
And I think one of the best Christmas related things you could do that is so easy is what I call wholesale fulfillment, and that is partner with a pet groomer.
Right.
Set up a little display of fresh, exciting products that the pet groomer can have, that the pet owner can get with their dog on there. I've got a new golden retriever. I think she just turned 1, and of course, I'd love her picture on something. All dressed up with maybe a Christmas hat, you name it, little thing around her neck, all sorts of things. And people will pay big bucks for that.
Yes,
and
they will.
You cut a little of the profit to the pet groomer. The pet groomer handles the collection of money and just funnels the order to you. And essentially, you've picked up, you've hired a sales force. You've hired them. And nobody takes their dog to a pet groomer because they have to. So that's just one way.
That's a great point.
And what you would do is you would change your display for Christmas-themed products, like a Christmas ornament. And the pet groomer will love you, because let's face it, pet grooming is a very dull business. About the only thing that ever happens exciting in a pet groomer is when a dog bites somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That's a great point, though. Yeah, definitely working with them. And there's probably other businesses in the community where you may be able to find that same kind of concept that you can put into play. Of actually, kind of, putting in that sample kit, and then you have the certain samples. You got to make it easy for them to take the order. But, if you have these specific samples like you're talking about, you have a ready-made order form, and all they got to do is collect the information and the money right there on the spot. Yeah, that's a great idea, David. Fantastic.
Another great thing, I think we've already mentioned it, but is the fundraising. You plant those seeds early on with the organization that have an exciting fundraiser this year. Give somebody something through their donation to the organization, something that you absolutely can come back 10 years and they're still going to be in love with the product they purchased from your organization. And that's what we offer. We offer that product that essentially is going to be admired, loved from here on out.
Yes, absolutely. So what I have up there on the screen right now.
Let me jump in.
Meredith. Yeah, with me and David, you got to jump in there. You just got to jump in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to throw out another approach to marketing your products around the holiday season. Social media is a absolutely wonderful resource. And if you are not plugged into Pinterest, I would encourage you to do so. It's a picture-based platform. And I know personally, I'll log on to Pinterest and say, gifts for my husband for our anniversary. And all of these different pictures will pop up, and then that'll link me to someone's website or someone's Etsy shop. So Pinterest is a really great platform. You can create different boards based off of what the product is. Maybe it's all your acrylic items, or it could be categorized by the customer. So these would be all items for your pet, that sort of thing. So definitely, if you're not familiar with Pinterest, it's an easy way to reach a broad audience. And then also remember hashtags, especially around the holiday season. So if you post a picture maybe on your Facebook page of a Christmas ornament for a baby's first Christmas, perhaps you would include the hashtag baby's first Christmas. So then when people are searching for things related to a baby's first Christmas, anything that has been posted with that hashtag will come up. So it's another great way to kind of source your products into customers that may not know you exist.
Yeah, great points. Wow. See, it's very valuable for you to jump in and keep doing it.
Sure. Take it away.
Okay, for those of you who don't know who Meredith, she can actually out-talk David and I if you give her a chance. So I just thought you should know that. Okay, so a couple of other things, and these are some things I've done, and that is we've gone and had a booth in a Christmas-oriented crafts-type show. Now, it wasn't a show that was limited to handmade crafts. It was a show that was really kind of, to be honest, more personalized Christmas gift orientated. But the point being is the people that came shopping there came there with the intent of looking for unique, Christmas themed products. And that became a nice way to get in front of people in a retail setting because I didn't have a store, So that was an approach. Similar and not for everybody. Now, I have done this, but I haven't done this routinely. I have been involved before in getting a kiosk in a mall for the 3 months Christmas season. What they'll do is you can actually rent a seasonal kiosk for like October, November, December, and it's not necessarily cheap, and you're going to have to be there a lot of hours per day. But if it's a busy traffic area for retail, you get a lot of exposure, and you can do two things. Number one, you can sell your holiday products, but you're also making exposure for the rest of the year. So you're making sure that as you meet people in that retail setting, that they are able to contact you, year round when you're not there in that particular kiosk. So that's not for everybody, but it is something to consider. And then we have the home parties. And the concept on the home parties is, I know people that do this not just for Christmas, they typically do it for year round. But the idea, I always call it the Tupperware concept, because what you do is you have friends become hostesses for a party in their home, where you would come in and you would, some people call it like a trunk show, where you would come in with a trunk full of, Christmas products. But the idea is that someone's organized the party and you're presenting, and then you can take orders on the spot based on what you're presenting. And so I do know people that do this, is that is their sole method of selling personalized products, is through the home show routines.
Yeah, I'll throw this in, Jimmy, before you leave that, is that we've had a radical new change to that concept with the sublimation markers.
Yeah.
Now you could have a sublimation marker party where you could have the kids, the adults, or whatever, essentially make their own design on paper, and then you collect the paper, collect their money, and then go back and press them onto, say, an acrylic ornament, acrylic bag tag, or something that, of course, can be done very quickly.
Right.
And they all get their Christmas gift right then. And you think about what an incredible gift that would be for, say, a young child, maybe 9 or 10, making something for grandma, grandpa, wishing them a Merry Christmas from the grandchildren.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
So I think the sublimation marker parties, whether they be Christmas related, whether they're related to other occasions of life, sort of the hallmark of occasions. We have so many. Think about the sublimation markers.
Yep. Wow, that's great, because that is a fairly new product. I sometimes forget it's there. So that one is, wow, you could do a lot with that. Absolutely. So the third area of approach for sales is the corporate market. And when we talk about the corporate gift market, many corporations, big and small, they give gifts to their staff and their employees, and they also give gifts to customers. And to some degree, especially with gifts to customers, this is also crossing into the promotional products marketplace as well, because most corporations that give gifts that are created will end up putting their corporate logo on there somewhere as well, to kind of remind the customer, who they are. But corporations tend to think way in advance, okay, because they have budgeting and everything else. And a lot of corporate clients I know actually are buying their products in September and October. So that's why it's important to be ahead of the game, especially if you're going to approach them, because you need a plan of how to reach out to your corporate clients to show them and introduce them to, some of the products that you have to offer. So if you look at the staff aspect, a lot of companies do give their staff members some type of gift at Christmas to give a message. I mean, typically when you give an employee a nice gift, and I highly recommend that if you're going to give, whether it be an employee or a customer, a gift, you don't give them a piece of junk. That sends the wrong message, because the message you're trying to send to an employee, staff member, is thanks for a job well done. We're glad you're on our team. We recognize who you are and what you contribute. So it's not about giving a gift. It's about giving the right gift that delivers the right message, to make them feel important, okay, and a part of the team. That's what you're trying to do. So you do have to pay a lot of close attention to what you're choosing, and what you're giving out to the staff members. Also, it's important to understand that a lot of times the holiday gifts would not be themed, because we may have members of our staff who have, for example, celebrate Hanukkah instead of Christmas. So you do have to pay attention to that you don't give a gift that has Santa Claus to the wrong person, if you know what I mean. When we're doing this, sometimes you'll see a lot of gifts that just say, like, season's greetings, or have a winter theme or something like that. Just things to think about. So, as I was saying, be careful of themes that connect with religion or ethnicity. And also gifts that are perceived to be cheap will send a negative message. So take your time and pick the right thing. That's the key here. Just some random things I put out there. I like gifts that I can use. If someone wants to give me a gift, fine. But I prefer that if they're going to give me something, it's something I can actually use. And one of the simplest gifts is actually a coffee mug, because almost everybody uses a mug, and it's hard to offend somebody with a coffee mug. But sometimes gifts are given that also are in relationship to the type of business. The reason I have the one with the compression sleeve is, if it's a health club, athletic club, their gifts may have that kind of theme because their workers are all the kind of people that work out. And that may actually seem like a strange gift to some people, but a good gift to others. But that's where you have to sit down with your client and kind of work through it and say what makes sense. So the more ideas you have, the better. Other staff gift ideas, again, I've just randomly pulled some things out and put them on there. I mean, any type of thing for beverages is usually a pretty safe across the board. But a lot of it, too, comes down to what does the business do, what do the employees do, just kind of thinking it through and putting together your imaging and stuff for it. Now,
yeah, useful, the more useful the gift is, along with the branding or whatever. But, one of the things that I'm sure you're gonna cover a little bit, too, since sublimation costs the same amount, whether it's personalized or not.
right.
You can go into corporate markets and make sure that every person's name is actually on the product. That this is, custom, handmade for them.
Right.
And nobody ever throws away a product that has a name on there.
That's a very good point. In fact, it's a new trend in promotional products to do personalized promotional products because it takes it to a higher level. And especially if you're talking about a nice gift, putting their name on there, it definitely says, we know who you are because we took the time to put your name on there. So it does send a pretty good message there. Same kind of thing when we talk about gifts for clients. I mean, much of the rules are pretty much the same. When you're talking about gifts for clients, you're trying to say thank you for your business. You're also trying to keep your brand in front of them. And that's always an important part. And that's why I say it kind of falls into the promotional products kind of thing in that. Be careful, again, with the themes, that you don't offend anybody accidentally, because that's the last thing you want to do. So sometimes we go with generic. Gifts that are cheap send the wrong message. So same basic rules here. They should be subtle in terms of branding. Don't plaster the logo all over it because that becomes offensive to some people. And then the personalization definitely adds a high value to the product. Some random different products here. Really and truly, you sitting down with the client and finding the right thing works. Now, this is something that I really like here, and I wanted to show you this packaging because here you can actually combine non-sublimation with sublimation for a really cool but simple gift in many cases. We look at the coffee mug here on the left. So in there is actually Ghirardelli chocolates. So you can take the mug and you could actually put into it some type of coffee products, hot chocolate products, and then maybe wrap it up in, some cellophane with a nice little ribbon, maybe include a couple of, candies or something with it, and of course personalize it with their name. And you have a really nice little gift package that you can give to somebody. If you look at the one in the middle, it's got a wine bag, which you could get a wine bag and you probably don't want to be in the business of supplying alcohol, but you can work with your customer who's going to give it to their customer, and they can go buy the alcohol and put in there. But you could show them the concept of, doing the wine bag or a little collection that has, different beverage items in there. So you're kind of packaging together a nice little gift that becomes very useful. Just like on the far right, we actually see a cheese tray where you could sublimate the cheese tray, but then your client would put the cheese with it, maybe package it up, or maybe you're going to go out and get the cheese and put the whole thing together. So, think about that too, because a lot of times we get gifts that have multiple pieces to them. And I love kind of going in this direction of packaging things together.
Oh, one thing just to throw in is our new mug box. We've got it's a sublimatable mug box. Have you seen it, Jim?
I have not.
Okay, so Meredith, excuse me. Maybe send him a picture of or the link. But basically, we know that mugs are an awesome gift. They are very popular, both for individuals or themed, buying a mug at a museum or buying a mug at a gift shop, buying a mug at a, tourist attraction, you name it, all over the place. And, a lot of people, they see the mug and it looks okay, but if you put that mug in a mug box with a window and a very attractive design, suddenly it's worth a lot more money. It's the packaging. And we Americans just love our packaging.
Very true.
We love how things look. And this way, you can customize the packaging for that person, for that corporate gift, where the mug is personalized on the inside, but maybe the outside is the corporate. Who knows what you could do? But the point is that for very little extra money, you can make that mug much more valuable.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that mug box.
And then think about throwing in a coaster. If you got a mug, you may need a coaster, or you probably do. And coasters are like ornaments. We've got a bunch of different kinds, everything from an acrylic coaster to a wood one, and so into the sandstone. You got lots of choices. But the point is that if you pitch something that's too cheap, it just doesn't look like it's high value to these corporate clients. They're going to say, we've already got a budget. This is sort of below our budget, and they're going to say, I got to go back. I need something nicer. So often corporations are willing to spend $20, $30 on basically just a Christmas handout.
Yes. So
hey, Jimmy, yes. I sent you a chat with a link to the mug box that's on our website right now that you can buy, and it's got we've done a couple of different things with the matching logo on both of them.
Okay, very cool. I was just mentioning we've mentioned the personalization, but here's yet another example. I was talking about mugs, but computer laptop sleeves, great place to put personalization in for those types of gifts. So taking a quick look at some sales and marketing ideas for the corporate market, the main thing is getting the word out. And July is not too early to start thinking about that, because if you're going to approach your corporate clients, your business clients, you want to start having several things going on: conversations, flyers, e-blasts, social media, as was pointed out, and conversations again. Okay, and the holiday gift party concept. So real quick, conversations, one of the easiest things you can do is just start talking to people. Start talking to people when you're talking to your customers. Give them the ideas, tell them about what you can do, and make them start thinking about it, okay? Start thinking about it a little bit early. And don't overwhelm them, but, have those conversations. Flyers with orders. Every time you fulfill an order, if you've made a flyer that's got some corporate Christmas gift items in there, that's something they're going to see every time they open a box. So you might start putting together some of your own flyers and sending them out with each and every order, and then trying to give them a recommended date to when to get their order in, so they're not waiting till the last minute.
Yeah, let me say this, Jimmy. it depends, of course, if you have a storefront versus don't have a storefront. But if you have a storefront, or even if you don't, make sure you're taking a picture of every product you produce. And you take that, if you got a storefront, post it on your little flat screen TV where people coming in can see all the excitement that you're generating out there with the great products you're producing.
Right.
And if you don't, then, or even if you do, put it on your Facebook account, put it on Instagram, and Meredith suggested Pinterest. And I need to work my way into understanding Pinterest, but it looks like a huge community. And so the more you're out there showing people what you can do. Now, if you do have a storefront, or if you're able to deliver things in person, take a picture of the person receiving it, and with their permission, post it on your, say, your Instagram page or other places. And that's going to be a fantastic way, because you really will never have enough physical space or space on your website, so to speak, to really do a good job of that sizzle, that excitement that comes when the person receives that gift. You could even, for instance, start a little contest. Say, hey, I'll give you $5 off your next order if you'll just take a picture of that Christmas ornament on your tree, or show me the folks around there, whatever.
Right.
It is, but get your clients involved in promoting the products, making that product literally go viral.
Yep. E-blasts, some people do them, some don't. But if you do an e-blast, main thing about e-blast is you make it simple, and obviously try to link to something else. People don't like to read big email messages, so it may be something you want to use, it may not be, but the key is try to link them to something else that has all the great information to it. Social media, well, I think that Meredith really knocked a home run on the social media. I was just looking at Facebook and Twitter, and she went way above and beyond. So I think she gave us some great points on the social media already. Holiday gift party, and I've seen this one. A friend of mine is a promotional products distributor, and what he does is every October, first week of October, he actually rents a meeting room in a local hotel, and he sets up tables full of his corporate Christmas gift product ideas. And then he invites in every single corporation, small business, nonprofit, anybody he thinks that could, benefit from that, to come drop in at their leisure. So he's actually there for like 3 days, from, like 10 in the morning until 8 at night. And I know long hours, but, he has some refreshments, and the idea is that people can come and go at their convenience. And he calls it his holiday gift party. And he takes a lot of orders in doing that. And, he's reaching out to existing clients and prospective clients, and trying to bring them in. And that's been one of his best ways of getting a lot of orders together for the Christmas holiday season. All right. That's the end of my slides. But I'm sure you probably got some more things to add in here.
Yeah, I had a couple. Thank you, as always. Again, going back to the markers, if you don't have a set of markers, get you a set of markers. I think it's 10 colors, $35, free shipping. You can also mount the markers in your cutter, like a cameo silhouette. I think also check out some of the throws as far as the higher end Christmas gifts. Some of those are the paneled throw is beautiful. It's actually pretty easy to do. And consider partnering also with some of the ladies, what I call boutique shops, and getting the sublimation bracelets in there. The bracelets are one of the highest margin products that I think we have. Cost about $1. You get them in there and maybe have some Christmas themes on their bracelets. I think they'll love them. Even if they're not exactly Christmas themes, they're certainly beautiful products with maybe a Christmas colors on the patterns. along with the beautiful monograms. So to me, that's just an awesome gift for the ladies. And hey, the ladies are the ones spending the money. So if your gift isn't focused on the ladies, or on pet owners, maybe you ought to rethink your strategy. So just a few of my thoughts. Here in Mobile, for instance, we have at least one very large, 365 days a year Christmas themed store, and the tour buses will pull up, and people go in and they're guaranteed to buy something. And so maybe touch base with those and just scout out a few products that you could do the fulfillment for them. And let's face it, you have so many advantages over everybody else because you have virtual inventory. You have a mug that's blank. You can put anything you want on the mug. And so they may be running some unique seasonal themed kind of products. Who knows? But certainly start trying to understand and show them what you can do. And I think there is certainly a large number of products that do have the margins to fit into a wholesale fulfillment market.
Okay. I got time for a couple of questions. I have to leave promptly here in just a few more minutes, but we do have some questions here, David, and I want to take a couple of them while we still have a few minutes. The first one I'm going to take is, can I download Creative Studio to start learning it before I purchase a Sawgrass printer? It's sort of a yes and no. First of all, Creative Studio is not downloadable. It is a cloud-based program. However, there is a demo site that you can go play with Creative Studio, which if you go to Sawgrass Inc., and that's ink.com, sawgrassinc.com/Creative Studio Demo, you can actually use Creative Studio. All the functions are there except printing. You're not able to print because obviously you don't have a printer yet. But that's how you can go try it out. But do keep in mind that even when you buy your printer, Creative Studio is an online product. It's not something that's downloaded. So, David, I got a couple of questions for you here. The first one is, it's about the markers. And it says, for the markers, do you use sublimation papers or some other type of paper I'm supposed to use?
So this is an interesting question. And the official answer is you would use plain paper. So you would not use sublimation paper. And we've been having a lot of fun with markers, by the way. And at our next trade show we'll go to, which will be the NBM show in Long Beach, we're going to have a separate booth, and it'll be a coloring booth. So you can relax for a couple minutes and sit down and color, and then take your paper with the coloring on it to our main booth, and we'll sublimate it to something. So plain paper is sort of what's called for. But I think ultimately you could imagine a hybrid transfer where you create a transfer with your sublimation printer, you print it, but you have on there an area for personalization with the markers. So I think in general there might be a fit for using sublimation paper, but in general we recommend using plain paper. It works great.
Cool. Where can we watch a recorded webinar? You place the webinars onto Conde TV, correct?
Correct. Conde TV is our YouTube channel. I think we have 1,500 or so videos. If you just go there, and I bet if you just search for Jimmy Lamb on there, you'll find them. But or you can, Conde Christmas or something. But it'll be there.
All right. Let me repeat the Creative Studio demo website again. It's sawgrassinc.com/Creative Studio Demo. All one word, Creative Studio Demo. David, someone else kind of picked up late on the markers, and they're saying, what are you talking about with colored markers? If you wouldn't mind, again, just real briefly explaining how this marker works. It's such a fascinating product.
So if you can imagine sublimation ink being poured into a marker that you write with, and being a bunch of different colors. In our case, there's 10 colors. They're in a pack. You just color with them. You see the color on the paper, but yet when you heat them through the sublimation process to a sublimation substrate, they sublimate just like you had printed them with a sublimation printer. So in a funny way, let's say your printer breaks, then you grab your markers and start coloring. But other great markets would be working with schools and kids to let them color, and adults can color as well. But the bottom line is you have incredible flexibility with a completely new dimension in the sublimation gifts.
Yep, excellent. All right, I'm going to have to run, so we're going to wrap up
Okay.
here.
One second. Meredith had
yeah, you got to have the special. That's important.
Few things for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Meredith.
Go ahead, Meredith.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in light of Christmas in July, our best-selling acrylic Christmas ornament is our ACR 317, and it's a big round Christmas ornament. So if you call your account rep, you can take one of those home for free with your next order. I know this past Christmas, I put a picture of one of my nephews on it and gave it to my brother on that very same ornament. So it's really great. It looks great on the tree because of the Christmas lights. You can see back and forth through it. So we have that. And Jimmy, do you have a list of all of our attendees that you can view currently? Okay. We also have our Christmas in July gift box of a bunch of different substrates. We can give one of those away to one of the attendees. So I don't know what the best process you want to use to choose one of those, but we can shoot that person an email later or leave a comment, and we'll choose a winner for our Christmas in July box.
Jimmy, can you go ahead and choose a person right now?
I can't access that list until after the webinar closes. So what we'll do is we'll get together with that
we'll
list.
Let you know.
And if I give you the list, maybe you just have one of your people just go up and just close their eyes and put their finger down on it and see if they can pick a name.
That's exactly what Jimmy. So again, thank you, Jimmy, for taking time off your busy schedule. You're traveling. Thank everyone for being a part of this. Till we meet again.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.